I am obsessed with the variety of apples that are in the markets this time of year. And I often end up buying way too many because I love all the different flavors, colors, and texture. And when I make a crumble, a pie, or applesauce, I like to use a combination of sweet and sour, soft and firm, and white-fleshed or bright pink-fleshed apples to create a nice contrast and an interesting flavor in all of my desserts. I take all of the apples that I have in my home and I process them all on the same day. And I do this by using acidulated water. That's water that's had white vinegar added to it. And I do that because when you slice an apple, an enzyme is released, and when it touches the air, it turns the flesh of the apple brown. By adding acid to the water while you're processing the apples, it slows the oxidation. If you add too much acid, you will soften the apples too much, so you have to have a plan and work kind of quickly. Once an apple has turned brown, you cannot reverse it, so you want to prevent it. So I set up a nice system for myself to work. I'm right-handed. I use a cut glove on my left hand because I have cut myself with peelers one too many times. I use cold water with a splash of white vinegar, and I have decided how much to use based on my own experience, but it's about a teaspoon per cup. And then I begin peeling, keeping each exposed apple in the water after I have peeled all the apples and cut them into sections. I begin trimming them and then slicing them into even 1/4 inch thicknesses. This thickness tends to not fall apart as I'm drying and handling the apples, and it also keeps them firm while baking. I drain the water and then shake out the apples very gently in a colander onto paper towel where I gently pat them dry. I put all of these apples into a scale and I get a number. I take that number and I put it into my magic spreadsheet so that I can formulate my recipe around the quantity of apples, not the other way around. I'm doing this math while my apples are oxidizing, so I work very quickly, and then I scale out the mixture for the apple pie filling. So this is just the beginning of making apple pies, and if you do each step right and very well and pay attention to every detail, your finished pie will be that much better. And my crusts are waiting in the refrigerator and ready for this filling next.